Oklo, a US-based startup developing next-generation nuclear reactors, just received a major signal of confidence from the US Department of Defense. The company was issued a notice of intent to award for a project to build its compact Aurora microreactor at Eielson Air Force Base in Alaska, with the long-term plan to supply power directly to the base. The announcement sent shockwaves through the market, with the stock jumping nearly 30% in a single day. That was quickly followed by news of a $400 million public stock offering, underwritten by major investment banks like Goldman Sachs and Bank of America, which further validated investor interest and institutional trust. So a flood of major announcements dropped in a matter of days. So let's do break it down quickly. So if you're hearing about Oklo for the first time, here's a quick refresher. Oklo is one of the most talked about nuclear energy startups in the US right now. Unlike traditional large-scale nuclear plants, Oklo is developing compact, highly efficient, and stable microreactors designed for practical, real-world applications. So these reactors are built for locations where stable electricity is mission critical, like military bases, remote industrial facilities, and data centers. Oklo went public in 2024 through a SPAC and SPAC, and while it doesn't generate revenue yet, the company is positioning itself for long-term growth through government contracts, advanced fuel strategies, and vertical integrations. One of Oklo's biggest advantages over conventional nuclear companies lies in its fuel strategy. While most nuclear plants rely on freshly enriched uranium and produce large volumes of radioactive waste, Oklo is designing systems that can use recycled fuel, drastically reducing waste and dependency on unstable fuel supply chains. In other words, Oklo is not just making reactors, it's aiming to control the full nuclear fuel cycle, from supply to recycling. And that makes the business not only more efficient, but also aligned with broader energy policy goals. Now, some analysts have gone so far as to call Oklo a potential game changer in the industry. Now, the new agreement between Oklo and the US Air Force isn't just a test run, it's a full-fledged plan to install and operate a microreactor at a real military base for long-term power needs. What makes Oklo Aurora reactor so attractive is that, unlike solar or wind energy, it's not affected by the weather. Plus, it operates independently from the external power grid, something the military sees as essential for national security. To be clear, Oklo hasn't had a smooth ride. In 2022, the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission, NRC, rejected its initial license application, which led many to question the feasibility of the company's plans. But this new agreement with the Air Force changes that narrative, showing renewed trust in Oklo's technology and readiness. CEO Jacob DeWitt commented on the deal, saying it reflects the U.S. government's confidence in Oklo's ability to deliver reliable and clean energy for critical infrastructure. He also voiced strong support for the administration's recent executive orders aimed at speeding up nuclear licensing, emphasizing that Oklo's integrated approach from design to construction to operation will help accelerate deployments. It's clear that the company sees itself not just as a tech player, but as an active force in shaping U.S. energy strategy. Alongside the Air Force deal, Oklo announced a $400 million public stock offering, meaning it plans to raise money by selling new shares to investors. Naturally, that raises concerns about dilution, where existing shareholders' ownership gets slightly reduced, but it also gives the company critical cash to fund its next big steps. The funds will go toward building the Aurora reactor, obtaining regulatory approvals, and developing its fuel infrastructure. And the fact that Wall Street heavyweights like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Citigroup are backing the deal suggests strong institutional confidence in Oklo's roadmap. So this, is a major financial move that could support real-world deployments within the decade. Oklo stock jumped nearly 30% after news of the Air Force deal broke. Like I said, the gains settled slightly by market close, but shares still posted a solid double-digit increase. And as of now, as I'm recording this, I think the demand is pretty high the next day. Now, after the $400 million offering was announced, shares dipped slightly in after-hours trading, but like I said, the demand for the stock is quite strong. Year to date, Oklo is up more than 200%, making it one of the best performing clean energy stocks in the market. So, if you're thinking long term, say 5 to 10 years, and believe in the role of nuclear power in future infrastructure, Oklo could be a stock worth following closely. Its potential role in powering data centers, military bases, and remote industrial sites is hard to ignore. Still, this is far from a risk-free environment. Oklo is still in its pre-revenue stage, meaning it doesn't yet generate sales. Its Aurora reactor likely won't be commercially deployed until 2027 or 2028. The company still needs to navigate regulatory hurdles, construction timelines, and fuel supply logistics. For now, investing in Oklo is a high-risk, high-reward bet based on conviction in its vision. If the company executes well, it could become a cornerstone of the next clean energy paradigm. But short-term volatility and uncertainty are part of the package. So in conclusion, Oklo's recent contract with the Air Force and its massive fundraising announcement suggests one thing: the company is moving closer to become a central player at the intersection of energy policy and national defense. The next 1 to 2 years, especially licensing decisions and reactor construction milestones, will be make or break. If you care about the future of clean energy and infrastructure, this is one company worth keeping your eye on. So, as the nuclear sector gains attention once again, what's your take on Oklo's trajectory? So, feel free to weigh in by writing comments. All right, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.